Royal Blood recently released their third album, Typhoons. What did you guys think of it?
Well, Royal Blood have always been a bit of a Marmite band, really. And with this one, the release of this album, even some of their biggest fans have been slating this one, saying it's a bit dull. But to be honest, I think they're being quite unfair. Yes, there's a few forgettable songs that sound a bit samey, but on the whole, it's not really that bad. Mad Visions and Limbo have a bit of a disco vibe that you can sort of bop along to, which is nice. Boilermaker is probably the catchiest song of the year so far. I absolutely love that one. Um, and in summary, really, I guess it's not as good as their previous albums at all. It's a little bit different, but I think it'd be even more boring if they'd just done a third album exactly the same.
Yeah, I think that for me was the biggest thing that I wanted them to do something that was a bit different from kind of their first two albums. And I think there's enough on it that should still appeal to old fans. I'm not really sure why people are against it as much as they are. Yeah, and they've got songs on here that will be good additions to their live set. Boilermaker, like you said, and I think Trouble's coming as well. I just like the groove and the riffs are all fun. And yeah, his vocals were also, I think, his best so far.
That's exactly it. It's just a fun album, I think. I don't think it's taking anything too seriously. The last two were kind of very based on just riffs and sort of intricacy, whereas this is quite a simple sort of just have fun kind of thing.
But also it feels like with their first two albums, they very much leaned into the fact that it was just the two of them, whereas this one feels a lot more like they've explored a lot more and kind of opened up the sound. Oh yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. James, what about you? I'm nervous.
He's
nervous?
smiling.
I'm just smiling there. I'll start from the beginning. That's a good place to start. Trouble's Coming, I think, was a good start to the album. I discovered as I kind of go through the album, they use the same riff, just kind of repeated a lot and a lot. But I felt in Trouble's Coming, it had slight variations that still kind of kept it engaging, kept it interesting, and it was very well structured. And then similarly, Oblivion kind of has that repeated motif on the bass that's still engaging. There's enough little nuances in some of the drum play to keep the instrumental still fresh, even with that repetition. But then I got to Typhoons, 3 songs in, and the bass tone was just getting a bit tired for me. And it's interesting how they use that kind of the bass as a guitar for riffs, but it just started to get a little bit stale. And again, they have these very slight variations in the riffs, but it was like, okay, I'm kind of just getting this Royal Blood sound now. I particularly didn't find anything too exciting in the vocals. Not that there was anything bad about it necessarily, but it didn't keep me as interested compared to actually listening to what the instrumentals are doing. I found myself much more focused on that side of it. Either You Want It had a really nice intro in the song, and I enjoyed the drum work, and that was one that stood out for me. Had some nice use of EQ in the production, creating like different sounds that like dip in and out, almost like kind of fading slightly. And then I felt like finally All We Have Is Now was a welcome change in the sound. And I think it would have served better like halfway through the album to break up more, a bit like Paye on Sleep Society. Because I felt like if that was a little more centralised in the album, maybe I wouldn't have felt it was too stale. It was okay, but I feel like from my perspective, coming as a new listener, once you've kind of heard 3 or 4 of the songs, you've kind of heard the album. So that comes from a different perspective.
I can see why you say that. I think it's worth noting as well, it's a really short album. It's only like 30-something minutes long. And I think if it went on any longer, then I wouldn't have wanted to keep listening to it.
No.
It's kind of okay, the length it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because, like James said, it's a bit repetitive, and I think by the last song, you've kind of... How do you feel, really?
Got the Just a Royal Blood by them.
But what did you think? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Hit subscribe so you never miss a video, and why not check out the latest episode of our podcast. Thanks for watching.